What's up, guys? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious here, and today we'll be going over another piece of software for DDoSing network hosts. And I cannot stress this enough. This is for educational purposes only. Please don't go out and start pranking. You can prank your friends, I guess, if they're cool with it, and they won't file a lawsuit against you for DDoSing their house. But if you get screwed over or something, it's your fault. And there's actually two things I want to go over, so that I don't have to go over them later. There's actually a simple way you can DDoS, but it's not as powerful as DDoSing with executable software that does it multiple times without you having to open multiple tabs. So this is my basic command prompt. Now, to make it a deadly force to be reckoned with, I would enter this simple command, ping. And it would ask me what network host I would like to ping it to. This is how to DDoS like a huge ass, alright? So, we're going to do, because you have to DDoS with an exact IP address. So what we're going to do is, we're going to do a really simple website. This is how you find the IP address. Traceroute hpsnet.org. And we're just going to search. Now always remember, you have to look at the third IP address, which is this. But then there's multiple IP addresses, so I would imagine there's multiple layers of encryption. I'm going to see which one is the correct. It's covered by Cloud Proxy. Cloud Proxy is the one protected by that. Okay, so that means that the real IP address is 67.18.790. Alright. Actually, yeah, 67.18.790. Alright, so what you want to do now is you want to ping and then enter the IP address. In this case, it'll be 67.18.790. You can ping any IP address you want. This is just for reasons. Now, I'm only going to open one tab. To DDoS successfully, you either need to have a large network of computers DDoSing one network hosts, or multiple, at the same time. Or you could simply open multiple tabs of DDoSing software or DDoS command executables from one computer, which makes it much less volatile for you getting caught or the ping failing. But it does lead to extra stress on your CPU, and eventually at one point it might fail or fail to execute. Sorry, I've got some technical difficulties there. But that's the basics of DDoSing. So now I'll show you the command extensions. Now this is what you can add to make your DDoS more successful. Because if you just type in ping and the IP address, it'll just end up biting with the default 32 bytes of data. Pinging is just a stable way of... Pinging is just a stable way of making sure that a network host is up, but you can ping again to the max limit of 65,500. Now, 65,500 is way past what a network home router can process at the time, and also it's the max packets you can send to a website. So let's check this out. So we're going to enter the IP address again, and this time with the customization extensions. 90. So now the first extension we'll need is /L. This is how big you want your packet size to be. I'm just going to max this out to 65,500. /W, which is when you want the packet size to time out. If you want to DDoS, you want to make this as fast as possible so that you can get a buffer issue. It's expected to be 65,500 bytes in data, but the computer will only have, 23 milliseconds to read 65,500 bytes of data. Wow, that's going to cause real buffer issues. /I is, I think, how many intervals it'll be set in. So we're going to set it to max, which is 225. And /t just means execute it perfectly, exactly the way you want it to. Because you need this every single... /t is always required when you want to ping a network host. So we're going to press enter. And see, it's binging the IP address, 65,500 bytes of data. The requests are timing out because you've probably overwhelmed the network. I don't know why it automatically timed out when I pinged it with 32 bytes of data. I guess it's just never been DDoS before. It's like fresh off the bat. But that is one very classical yet kind of tricky way to DDoS a network hosts. So I'm just going to close this tab. An easier way that probably doesn't involve IPU tracking is DDoS Cannon. I can't really find the download page for this. It's HTTP Flutter Cannon. If you guys can find the download page, it's on SourceForge. I know that's where I got it from. If you guys can find it, please put it down in the comment section below, and I'll thumbs up and stuff. Okay, so this is much easier, but you'll need to be a bit more, how do you say, exact with your timing, because you need an actual port. Now, ports are different pathways of information that your computer can take. Secure websites like .org's regular, almost never open their ports unless it's to make changes to website data or send metadata or other confirmation or other information to a different website or vice versa. You know what I mean. And then threads is the same thing as size data. Protocol is much different. I don't really want to go over with this with you guys right now, but I would suggest if you just want to do this super quickly, you'd use ICMP. But if you really want the website to go down, you use HTTP to take the website down heavily. But we're only going to use ICMP this once. The sad thing about this is, now I have to make an explanation for you guys on what TCP is, what UDP, HTTP, ICMP, and SYN is. And I don't think SYN was here before I got here, so I think there was actually an update, so that means the the download page is still up. But besides that, we're going to go to ICMP right now. ICMP. You can type in anything like LOL. And then it'll just use the LOL protocol if you want. But we're just use the professional one, which is ICMP. We're going to enter in a URL, which stupid URL. Let's just go to Google and find a really dumb one. Actually, I know a port that's open right now. We're going to use the same website that we used to DDoS as an example. So we're going to use www.hpsnet.org. hpsnet.org. And we're gonna use port 80, and we're only going to use 12 threads, because the problem with HTTP fuzzer is that if you overload the system files, like if a port is closed and you're just spamming packets into the port, like 65,500 threads, HTTP fuzzer will send you 65,500 error messages for every single time that a packet fails to enter the port. This will crash your computer. It's extremely risky that you download this knowing and not knowing how to do this. So I'm only doing 12 threads on port 80, and I know it's open right now. I'm going to lock on, and it gives me the IP address straight up, but this is the IP address of a firewall. So what we're going to do is we're going to press attack. It's going to be sending threads. And you're going to see that it starts working when it says connection error. I'm going to stop flooding. I'm always super scared when I use this, because the moment I see the sending threads button, stop working as I am flooding it with ICMP or HTTP or UDP requests, I get so scared, man. Because I always think that an error message is going to pop up. The first time that happened, I thought someone had hacked my computer. I really did. And I was kind of confused because I didn't even have, like, I wasn't even DDoSing a website. I was just, like, making sure that, all my other computers were online and stable, because I think the router was gone. Well, it wasn't gone, but it just wasn't working, and then, like, I was just pinging them to make sure everything was okay, and they responded correctly, and then I got error messages because apparently, the port was wrong, and it was really, really weird. But, whatever. So, and then that's why I never use DDoS Cannon for home network pingings, or large DDoS attacks, or, like, if you open multiple tabs on DDoS Cannon, you will get owned. And I talked about this in the previous videos, you will get owned. It's just going to happen to you indefinitely. Alright. So I think we covered everything about DDoS attacks, how to do them. DDoS Cannon, I'm pretty sure, I'll see if I can find the software for DDoS Cannon. If I can't, this will just be a review for it and an instruction tutorial on how to do the CMD thing. Just as a reminder, this is for educational purposes only. I am not responsible for any damage to infrastructure you cause by using my tutorial for harm. And, thank you guys for watching. Have a supercalifragilisticexpialidocious day.